I never thought that morning I'd be getting up. Within 2 hours I'd be flown off in a helicopter with Welsh Air Ambulance. We got an upland beef and sheep farm here at Glen Ellen in the heart of mid-Wales. I farm it with my wife Audrey and 3 boys, Gethin, Rhys and Ian. So the farm runs from roughly 650 feet at the lowest level, river level, up to 1650 feet on top of the mountain. We just over 1,000 ewes lambing at the present time. We're here now in the middle of March. The cows are 60 strong suckler cow, mostly Limousin crosses and British blue crosses. We finish all the cattle on the farm, and most of them go into a local butcher where I supply of local hospitalities in the area as well of our beef. And obviously the importance of a short supply chain, so from the farm to the abattoir to the butcher to the plate. With things that's going on in the world and the carbon footprint of everything, that we do secure a short supply chain, and I'm quite proud of the fact that we can achieve that here. April the 30th last year will be etched in my mind forever, I think, you know, and as I said, I didn't think I'd be waking up that morning within a couple of hours at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'd be ferried off in a helicopter with Welsh Air Ambulance. It was just routinely work. Cows were calving. This particular cow had calved that morning.
And Robert had checked her, I'd run that earlier on, and decided that, you know, there was a touch of mastitis and had milked her out, but he wanted to give the calves some colostrum.
You know yourself when there's something not quite right, and fed many calves, you know, seen many cows calve over a period of time.
I got the milk in front of me, so Robert was sort of standing with a calf by him.
And we just assumed that it would be just one of those normal things that we do, you know, on countless times.
So I could see the calf, I could see Robert, and I could see the mother, the cow, behind.
And the calf gave a little call out.
And I knew really if this calf made a noise again, that we probably would be in trouble, you know. And lo and behold, he did.
And with that, the cow more or less hit me flying from behind, totally unknown to me, and Audrey screamed.
Get out, basically, just get out. And I jumped out over the sheep feeder. But of course, because I could see the situation unfolding.
And I was on the ground and at the mercy of the cow, more or less. Well, I was at the mercy of the cow, and she carried on. I thought, well, I'm in trouble here, and I thought, well, she hit me and then go back to calve, but she didn't. She kept on hitting me, and her legs were caving my legs, trying to turn me, and all I could see were flashing legs and feet, hooves, attacking my legs, while at the same time she was hitting me in the back with her head and pushing me around the pen like a rag doll.
Yeah, it was sort of pretty awful then for a few moments. You know, I screamed,
And as it was, Reese, the second son, was feeding the sheep, and he just happened to come back.
He just appeared.
And sort of knocked a cow away from me and opened the gate and dragged me into the next pen, where I was in some sort of relatively safety from the cow being attacking me. She wouldn't have given up until, if I was on my own, I most probably wouldn't be here talking to you now.
So I just kept asking him, can you feel your legs? Can you wiggle your toes? You know, can you feel your legs? Can you know, feel your toes? Can you move your toes?
And being winded as well, you know, so I said, oh, just let me lie here for however long it takes for me to get up.
I dialed 999 because I didn't know what had gone on.
And with that, the helicopter was circling around the building. And they whisked me to Cardiff, Heath Hospital in Cardiff, and that only took about 23 or 4 minutes.
And then they rang and updated us and said that he'd been taken to spinal injuries.
The guys from the physio department, when they ascertained there was no other internal injuries, only these 5 fractures to my 1 vertebrae and compressions of my spine, another quarter of an inch of that would have added severed, you know, so I would have been in a wheelchair at least, you know, so I was very, very lucky with the injuries I had sustained that I didn't come off a lot worse than what it was. And we got, you know, we hear of so many accidents, you don't think it'll happen to yourself. When you're on the farm, you can't switch off, you know, at any time, you know. It
would have taken a few minutes to sort of take the calf out to tube.
You know, I should have looked a bit more and at the situation I was in.
Especially with newly calved cows, always be 2. And if you have to go into a pen or an enclosed area, mark your exit. Preferably 2, but mark your exit.
Assess the situation before you start doing any sort of job, whether, as I said, stomach tubing a calf or tagging a calf, you know, even tagging a calf can bring its own risks. Just be mindful of what's around you and look at the safety aspect first. You know, there is always risks in every walk of life, but perhaps in farming and agriculture, we got more risks than most, perhaps, professions in the country, and you know, whether it be cattle or machinery or whatever, we got to be, you know, we always see so many accidents, and the accident rate is too high, and it must be addressed.